Chapter 4. Ricochet Hypocrisy. Koa. The library is quiet this time of night. The regulars have gone home. On Earth and Mars, college life is much the same. Burnt-out days, blacked-out nights. Dreams wasted as freshmen on Saturdays. The University of Mars campus is airtight to allow staff and students free passage without air masks. Smart glass walkways connect buildings, and all paths lead to the library. My library. It's the hidden headquarters for the Order of Roses, and as their leader, I take pride in its grace. Darkly academic, the library bends and twists with titanium walls, arches and spires in a surreal tribute to Dali and Gaudi. Kaleidoscopic windows fracture Martian sunsets through smart glass panes, which all connect to the campus computer. My jade eyes catch my reflection, and I will the pale, curvy ghost forward, onward. Vaulted ceilings lend eerie echoes, with or without attending students, and rows of tables stretch through looming stacks of books and tables. Chandeliers swing low on metal chains, bathing the library in a dim, flickering glow. I tiptoe through the vast space, though there's no need anymore. After a week of constant surveillance, of Mac tilling tricks like some do gardens, the Bone Lords eased up in their pursuit. Annoyed, I should add. They don't appreciate Ricochet hypocrisy.
You're here late,
my graduate assistant says. Miro Wise is always stuck in a book, sometimes literally, like now. He pores over a small printed text, dark fingers trapped between pages. Likewise, I say as I sit behind the reception desk. Not interested in the midterms party?
Interested in the exams, not the party,
he says.
Pointless to celebrate impending failure.
He frees a hand from his book, then tugs his black curls, nervous. You're peachy.
I'm practical.
There's more to life than studying.
Not on Mars,
Miro says.
Without passing grades, I'm doomed to Ecus Chasma's filter tanks.
Your grades are more than passing, I say. You're top of your class. Relax.
Relax. With Bone Lords cracking down and Earth itching for an excuse to invade?
He shakes his head.
No, Professor Bry. We need to prepare, not relax.
And we are. But the Order can only do so much without arousing suspicion. We keep Bone Lords in check. We protect Star Children.
Do we? Heard a rumor that Mark Calloway helped her in the subway, but then he abandoned her to skeletons. He should have stayed.
Too risky, I say. And I can't fail again. And I can't fail again. I tie back my wild, red hair, open a spell book, Earth's term for encyclopedias on the history and science of Star Children, and pretend at purpose. Miro and I wear matching dust suits, rose-red uniforms with thorn-like daggers hidden in our sleeves. Earth forbids us weapons. They say we are weapons enough, but necessity mothers protection, even if Bone Lords confiscate most knives, and repurpose them, the bloody hypocrites.
We should make a stand,
Miro whispers.
The Order is timid.
The Order is cautious, I say, and we will, in time.
Slay.
He almost triggers the alarms, but stops himself with a grimace.
She thinks she's alone. She thinks she has no one. We can at least...
No, Miro. Enough. There are more pieces at play than you know, and rushing the game could mean disaster for us all. I ignore my guilt and swipe the spellbook, scanning entries for this year, 2345. Miro lets it go, but I don't, because there are no pieces. There is no game. There is only fear. My fear. Fear of failure. Of failing her. She's not ready yet, anyway. I'm certainly not. And she has the doctor. The nameless one. That's good for now. That buys me time.
If she is what we think she is...
I was wrong. Miro hasn't let it go.
Then the stories are true. Do you know what that means?
All too well, I think. Truth doesn't change reality, I say. What course is hardest? Let me help. Miro allows my sloppy segue with a tilted glance.
Modern history. 23rd century. The Star Children diaspora of 2257.
That was a brutal period. I rewind the spellbook to its earliest entries and show Miro the smart glass tablet.
That can't be right,
he says, reading the glowing text.
Earth couldn't have done that.
Earth did much worse. This is the watered-down version. I twist a silver earring, edgy, tense, as if speaking about savagery could summon it again.
Watered down? Slitting our throats and fucking our windpipes as we bleed out and suffocated to death is watered down?
Shh, I say, skimming the library. But there's no one here. Still, sometimes walls have eyes, and windows have ears. Yes, very watered down. Miro chews his lip and fidgets in his chair.
Then what really happened? The facts, Professor.
Earth exiled us here with Bone Lords to supervise, and the Order of Roses grew to supervise the supervisors.
Every preschooler knows that. Give me details. Give me more.
I sigh, pause, wish innocence eternal. But Earth stole our hearts. Then Mars stole our souls. Massacre, I whisper. Atrocity. Sins previously unseen. Earth broke us apart, piece by piece. Sharpened our bones to carve up our meat, then dangled our mangled carcasses from flagpoles and lightning rods in every capital city. They slaughtered the families of those who fought and raped the families of those who didn't. And the survivors? Well, they kept some alive for scientific pursuit, and they sold others to governments under threat of their loved ones' deaths. Miro gapes, then gags.
That's awful.
That's only the start. Our history is bloody and barbaric, filled with child labor and baby farms.
Baby farms?
I hesitate. Acres of fetuses. Rows of embryos, snatched from Star Children's wombs and subjected to rigorous analysis. In truth, our exile was a mercy. If not for the diaspora, we'd be extinct.
What caused the diaspora, though?
Miro asks.
Earth was fine brutalizing us at will. Why the sudden fear?
Not fear, terror. And no one really knows.
But you have an idea.
A guess.
An educated one. Please, I won't tell anyone. Promise.
Miro beseeches me with his warm, brown gaze, and I bend an inch. Okay, but this stays between us, I say, and he nods. It's only a theory. Come with me.
Where?
To the sun loft. I assume you'll want proof. Miro follows me, uneasy, as we wind our way through headquarters, footsteps weak against the library's gravitas. Near the back, there's a stairwell that spirals toward heaven, and I grip the railing, knuckles blanching with our ascent. It's dangerous to tell Miro. It's dangerous to not. If I'm the only one with this information, I'm the only one they'd kill. But if I am one of many, if ideas infest cities, that is a swarm even Bone Lords can't stop. I remove a pewter key from my dust suit and free the lock, then open the heavy door. Here is where we keep the forbidden texts, I say, waving my hand over the circular room. Tablets line the wall, and a ceiling skylight imitates the distant sun.
Forbidden?
Miro's eyes widen, and he straightens his dust suit in witness to victory. Yes. I withdraw a smart glass tablet and scan my thumbprint. The screen wakes, and I turn it toward my assistant. If you read this, they could imprison you. Or worse. Miro takes it without hesitation. Knowledge and he are closest twins.
What is it?
An eyewitness account, right before the last bombing of Valles Marineris.
Wait, what? I thought Earth filled the canyon with water, then left. What do you mean by last? There were more?
Just read. His brow furrows.
Can we trust the source?
I shrug. It's anonymous, but it corroborates other events we wrote off as geological. Then again, reputable sources are often government-funded propaganda mills. So, who can you trust, really? But as I said, this is just a guess.
A guess dangerous enough to risk incarceration?
Miro smirks.
Sounds real enough to me. Forbidden is often fact. People fear truth, most of all.
He starts reading, and his smile fades. I follow along with him and squirm at the bloody words.
The Reckoning. That's what they've called Mars for 100 years. But it's 2257, and war's no closer to over. This is the year of the diaspora.
Miro whispers.
But 100 years? I thought we came to Mars after.
We've been on Mars much longer than records state, I say. Keep reading.
Causey in the north is where Earth built our city, but Marineris in the south is where they built our cage. I'm sure my words will burn before anyone can read them, but I write anyway, a promise through pain that there's something more, that we will carry on. There aren't many star children left here, on the canyon's ridge. They took Ma and Pa yesterday, and Jack followed soon after. It's only me now, me and Graham. Though she's 5 decades older, I bet on her. The things they do to us, they're too cruel to tell. I thought I knew struggle, knew suffering, knew strength, but I was wrong as the Order was in their hope to stop the Bone Lords. If they run out of holes, they carve new ones. If bodies waste away, they pump waste back inside. We are less than animals, treated like corpses without the mercy of becoming one, until the final test, when they set us all free. They're looking for something. They're frantic. They're afraid. None survived the final test, yet Earth's fear still remains. I heard them whispering once. About gods and titans. About stars and shadows. They saw me watching, then punished my curiosity.
Miro dry heaves, then breathes, then steadies himself as he scrolls to read the rest.
But I passed their test. I wasn't supposed to pass their test. They think me a monster, call me a nightmare, want to kill me, and I want to let them. Bone Lords took me in a skyship to the center of the canyon, and myths came for me. Most are stars, but I'm shadow. No,
Miro says.
That's it? Where's the rest?
Gone, I say. Or never written.
They killed her after this. But you have a theory. What is it?
It's nothing more than a wild guess.
Knowing you, Professor, it's been cross-referenced by at least a dozen primary sources. You're the youngest PhD on Mars, only 25 and leader of the Order. I trust your wild guess more than most dissertations.
I smile. Only most? Then I frown. This stays between us. No exceptions. Understand? He nods. Okay, I say. Then speak the sword I could die on. Slip, she isn't the first. What she is, they're rare, but they're by no means extinct. This source, I think they were the same thing. And I think their final test caused the diaspora. Then Bone Lords bombed Valles Marineris, closed the cells, and forced all star children to Mars, not only the guinea pigs. Earth left us alone, for the most part, thereafter.
But what are they? What is Earth so afraid of?
He asks. A myth, as old as the sun.
About gods and titans.
About stars and shadows. We exit the sun loft, descend the staircase, and re-emerge in the library's heart.
What's the myth, Professor?
Miro asks. I stall beneath a chandelier and straighten books on a table. That our world is broken. That light and dark face the same mirror. That the sky is alive with a million whispers.
And how does this relate to the source? To her?
I pause. Breathe. Face the window. Confront the city. They're the mirrors.